Hello, welcome. Glad you guys are here. Hope you had a good weekend. Work on anything that you need to be working on until the rest of the class gets here. Always, I saw all of your assignments turned in. I'll be going over them soon, but I'm done. Nice job. Work on anything that you can work on for the next couple of minutes until I get everybody logged. Welcome to class, Angel. Glad you're here. Hi, Nate. Congratulations on rocking that ELA test for the district. Nice job.
Thank you.
Looks like it's everybody, pretty much. Okay. All right, we're gonna get started here. I love that song. Okay, we are going to be looking at writing for most of this week. I'm going to share my screen with you. You absolutely need pencil and paper to take down some notes. We're going to watch parts of these videos because the videos show the whole essay, but you're going to be focusing on the planning portion today. Okay? Oh, what's wrong with my screen here? There we go. All right, so we're going to start with expository essay. You need to take notes on it. Remember, the notes are important because they will be part of your assessment. There we go. The first video, expository essay example. We're only doing the planning portion, well, a little bit of the introduction, but mostly the planning portion of it. Uh-oh, switched.
Have you ever heard of expository essays? Maybe even wrote a couple, or is this a completely new term for you? Whatever the case, an expository essay is something every student will most likely encounter. Professors often use this type of essay to evaluate the student's knowledge about a topic. So, what is an expository essay? How would you even approach it? Are there any tips to improve your writing? Hey guys, it's Vlad here from Essay Pro, and today you'll have all these questions answered by the end of the video. So without further ado, let's dive in.
Here's the definition.
What is an expository essay? Well, the clue lies in the name. The term expository derives from the word exposition.
I always miss that. You want the definition of an expository essay? Write it down.
In the name, the term expository derives
right there. Write the definition, please. Sergio, you're in the wrong class. All right, moving on. Expository derives from the word exposition.
From the word exposition. According to the Oxford Dictionary, exposition is a comprehensive description and explanation of an idea or a theory.
Write it down. Exposition is a comprehensive description and explanation of an idea or theory. Ready?
So, your main goal while writing an expository essay is to research an idea or a concept. Then, you must explain it using supportive pieces of evidence. Remember, an expository essay assesses your knowledge of a particular topic.
This is important. So when you do your essay on myths and legends, I'll know if you know the topic because I'll be assessing you based on what you put in that essay. You need to read your articles and know those myths and legends. Ready?
This is why it is often seen as part of an exam taken in high school or even college. If so, you have to focus on presenting the issue without stating your personal opinion, strictly sticking with the facts.
Oops. Strictly sticking with the facts. That's important. Just FYI, this video is going to be attached, so if you need to re-watch it for note taking, you can do that, okay?
How to choose a topic for an expository essay. In most cases, you will be writing an expository essay in class or during an exam. So there is no need to come up with a topic. The teacher will give it to you. However, in some cases, you will have to figure out a topic yourself. In this case, try to choose an idea or a concept that you are familiar with. It is much easier to come up with relevant supporting evidence if you have some prior knowledge about the topic already. Also, keep in mind that there are different types of expository essays.
This is
They
important.
are the descriptive essay, in which you have to describe something. It can be an idea, a thing, or a person. The process essay, in which your goal is to explain how something can be done. For example, how to write an expository essay, as we're doing in this video. The comparison essay, in which you have to contrast two ideas and determine their similarities and differences. The cause and effect essay, in which your main goal is to answer the following questions: why and how something happened, and what are the consequences? For example, what caused the fall of the Berlin Wall and the impact it had on Germany? The problem and solution essay. You have to introduce a particular problem and present possible solutions.
Okay, it's up here in the corner. These are all expository essay types. You are doing the comparison essay because you're comparing your myth and your legend, or your two myths, or your two legends. Remember, the descriptive essay is about describing something. Process is about the process of something. Comparison is what you are doing with this essay. Then you have cause and effect. Because of this, this happened. Problem and solution. This is the problem. Here's how you solve it. They are all expository essays.
For example, you can explore the issue of fires in the Amazon and offer some solutions. Keep in mind that they have to be based on reliable information.
Everything for the expository essay has to be based on reliable information. You don't want WikiLeaks because you don't know if Wiki anything because you don't know where it came from.
Now, after learning the different types of expository essays, let's come up with a topic. You can follow these steps. Number 1, think about an idea that fascinates you or something you're familiar with. For example, social media. After all,
One fascinating topic, something that you are interested in. A fascinating topic.
you are watching this video on YouTube. 2, now consider the 5 types of expository essays. Which one will suit our social media topic the best? We can explore why social media became so popular and how it impacts our lives. This is a cause and effect essay. Or we can focus on a problem related to social media, for example, lack of privacy due to the rise of social media. Later, we'll need to offer some solutions. This is a problem and solution essay. Another option is describing social media and its popularity in general. As you can see, there are lots of ways to tweak one idea and eventually come up with multiple great essay topics. We will use the topic, the social media privacy problems and ways of solving it, as an example in this video. Now let's explore the structure of an expository essay.
So structure
An expository essay is a traditional 5-paragraph essay. It consists of an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion.
That is the typical structure of an expository essay. Oops.
An introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion.
Okay, now, because they've been changing the 5-paragraph structure to where it doesn't have to be 5 paragraphs any longer, there's also the option of having 6 or 7 or smaller paragraphs, but it still kind of looks like a 5-paragraph essay. Normally you have about 8 sentences in each paragraph. But if you have smaller little things that you need to include, those are like transition paragraphs. They're tinier in between the main paragraphs. But that's when you get to being able to write a lot more.
The main goal of the introduction is to catch the reader's attention by writing a compelling hook statement. This can be anything from a rhetorical question to a quote from a famous individual. Afterward, you should clearly state the main idea. How do we do this? Well, it's the same as with most other essay types. We do this by writing a thesis statement. However, the thesis statement of an expository essay is slightly different. Remember, you are not supposed to make an argument or state your opinion.
This is important. You're going to write a thesis statement. It's normally at the end of an introductory paragraph, but it is not an argument, and it should not be your opinion, okay? So that is important in a thesis statement. It's just that, a statement, not an opinion, not an argument. You're not arguing with anyone.
In an argumentative and definition essay. Instead, you have to outline the topic clearly. Also, make sure to include some background information to familiarize readers with the topic. We recommend using the structure while writing the introduction.
You want to include the background information in that as well. So what is a chupacabra and how did people come up with chupacabras? What is a vampire and why did people come up with the vampire? It has to be clearly stated.
Start with a hook sentence that will intrigue the readers. Give some background information for readers to understand the topic better. Conclude with a thesis statement.
Those 3 items are important for your introduction. Write it down. All right, moving on.
So here's an example. Privacy is dead and social media holds the smoking gun. These words by Pete Cashmore, the CEO of Mashable, describe the problem caused by the advent of social media, the lack of privacy. With such events as the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal, many people wonder how to protect their personal data while using social media. The problem with social media privacy has practical solutions. In our example, we started with a hook, a quote by Pete Cashmore. After that, we gave some background information considering social media privacy and presented a thesis statement. Here's another tip. The expository essay focuses on actual facts and verified information.
That's important. Oops, I gotta finish that.
Not on the author's opinion.
Okay, actual facts, verified information. That means, are your sources reliable? Can you trace those back to an primary source? And are they academically correct? Not on the author's opinion. Just because Thomas Edison said that he invented the light bulb, the only reason that we know it's true is, and it's a fact, is because we have actual light bulbs and we know where it came from. So not their opinion, okay?
It means that you have to write in the third person. So stay away from I or you pronouns.
I and you should not be part of your essay except for very, very limited basis. When I was looking at through the writing prompts, writing papers that most of you did, there was I's all over the place. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about I. So I and you should not be part of your essay unless you're creating an argument with the author of the article. And we're not here to argue. This is a fact-based essay, okay? No I's, no U's. And we're gonna stop there because body paragraph we're gonna look at later. Next video. Come on. Come on. Nope. Don't want full screen. I want it. Next one is how to plan and write an expository essay. We're only going to watch part of this so that way you are looking at the plan. Also, if your cameras are off, you're going to end up in the waiting room. There's no reason for your cameras to be off.
In this lesson, you will learn how to plan and write an expository essay. First, we're going to be figuring out what the prompt is asking. Second, we're going to be planning out what you are going to write. Third, you want to write your essay. Let's start by figuring out what the prompt is asking. And let's take a look at our sample prompt today. The prompt says, all of us have had friends in our lives. Think about friends you have had in your life. Now write to explain why friends are important. So if I really am thinking about what the prompt is asking, I want to pay close attention to the last line. First of all, I can tell this is an expository prompt because it's asking me to explain something. So I know I'm writing an essay. Second, I can see that I'm going to be writing an essay about why friends are important. That is my topic. So now that I know that what my prompt is asking, I need to plan out what it is I'm going to write. And before I can make a plan, I need to think about what has to go into an expository essay. So a good expository essay always has a focus statement. The focus statement states what the topic of the essay is. A good essay also has two main ideas. Main ideas are reasons why the focus statement is true. An essay should also include anecdotes. Anecdotes are examples that prove the main ideas. Finally, my essay needs a conclusion. A conclusion wraps up the essay by restating the main ideas using synonyms. Now that I know,
All right, you need to write these down because this is essentially what you use to brainstorm your plan. You need a focus statement, what the topic of the essay is about, main ideas, a minimum of 2, anecdotes. These are your examples and your explanations to prove the main ideas. And you need a conclusion. Make sure that you have this written down.
what goes into an expository essay, I'm ready to make my plan. So once again, the prompt is asking to explain why friends are important. So let's set up my plan. First, I need to plan out a focus statement. And all I need to do here is state that my essay is going to be about explaining why friends are important. So my simple focus statement is, friends are important to me for many reasons. Now I need my first main idea, my main idea number 1. This is the first reason why friends are important to me. Primarily, my friends help me out of tight spots. That's one of the reasons why I think friends are important. Notice how I've written my main idea. I'm writing it first as a complete sentence, and I always start with a transition. This time I used primarily, but another good transition is to begin with. Next, after my transition, I have the topic, my friends. And then I have my specific reason why friends are important to me. Now that I've given my first main idea, I need 2 anecdotes to prove it, 2 examples of how friends have helped me out of tight spots. So I'm going to jot down the time Betsy helped me make vines, and when Lindsay helped me out after I broke my leg. Now I'm ready to write my main idea number 2, my second reason why the focus statement is true. In addition to being helpful, my friends are the most fun people ever. Now I needed 2 more anecdotes to prove this. I need 2 examples of times when my friends were really fun. So I'm going to write about the time John made a crazy face. I'm also going to write about the time Samantha played a joke on her dad. These are both examples of my friends being really funny, and I think that's going to prove that main idea. Last, I need to wrap up this essay with a good conclusion. So once again, I'm going to write this conclusion as a complete sentence. What more could I want than kind, caring friends who entertain me? I would say I'm a pretty lucky girl. Now that I've made my plan, it's time to write.
Okay, this is an outline type plan. You can use thinking maps if you want to. Thinking maps, the tree map is probably the best one for writing paragraphs. That way you can put the detailed information in there. But you can also do an outline similar to this. This is not a thinking map style, but you can use it, okay? So the way that you do it is up to you. This is a plan, and our focus today is on how to create that plan. So let's go to the next one. This one is about doing a research paper. So we're only going to watch a little piece of this.
After the title page and abstract, the reader's first true interaction with your research paper is the introduction. Your introduction will establish the foundation upon which your readers approach your work. And if you use the tips we discuss in this video, these readers should be able to logically apply the rules set in your introduction to all parts of your paper, all the way through the conclusion. What exactly is the purpose of the introduction? Think about your paper as a chronological story. It will begin at point A, the introduction, and move in time towards point B, the discussion and conclusion. Since your introduction includes content about the gaps in knowledge that your study aims to fill, the results you elaborate on in your discussion section should therefore be somewhat familiar to the reader, as you have already touched upon them in the introduction section. The introduction must answer 2 main questions. Why was this particular study needed to fill the gaps in knowledge? And why does this particular gap need filling? Imagine our entire plane of knowledge as an incomplete puzzle. The pieces snapped together are what is established or what is known. The missing piece is the gap in knowledge, or what is currently unknown. This is what your study will be helping to explain. So the context you provide in the introduction must first identify that there is a knowledge gap and what it is. It must explain why it needs to be filled, and then briefly summarize how this study intends to fill that gap and why. The introduction is one of the most compact parts of the research paper, since it is not very long but needs to essentially give a complete overview of the context in which your study is taking place and your specific reasons for doing the study. Most tend to be around 10% of the total length of your paper. The introduction consists of background information about a topic being studied, the rationale for undertaking this study or for filling the gap with this particular information, key references to preliminary work or closely related papers appearing elsewhere, a clarification of important terms, definitions, or abbreviations to be used.
All right, so this one is important, especially because of the background information and because of the key references. People want to know where you got your information and why you're using it, okay? So these content descriptors are important for your introduction, all right?
Used in the paper, and a review of related studies in which you give a brief but incisive analysis of work that heavily concerns your study. It could be a very similar study or one that supports the findings of your new study. So how should you structure your introduction? As you can see in this figure, your introduction should start broadly and then narrow until it reaches your hypothesis. The first thing you want to do is state your area of research and then immediately show what is already known. This is also known as background information. Then move on to what is unknown, the problem or gap you want to resolve. Finally, you should discuss how you will resolve this problem using a clear hypothesis. In step 1, you will show what is already known. Start with a strong statement that reflects your research subject area and ask questions or pose statements to frame the problems your study explores. You can ask general questions here to guide your readers to the problem and show them what we already know. For instance, what do we know about breathing capability of bottlenose dolphins? Use keywords from your title, the exact language of your study that is, to zero in on the problem at hand and show the relevance of your work. Avoid stating background information that is too broad in nature. You don't need to state too many obvious facts that your readers would know. If you are writing about bottlenose dolphins, for instance, you probably don't need to explain to them that mammals breathe oxygen. At the beginning of the introduction, you should also be sure to cite all of the sources that you use for background information and support. Only provide the necessary background information. Don't focus extensively on background, but use it to set up the context for doing this study. You should also review only relevant, up-to-date primary literature that supports your explanation of our current base of knowledge. In the second part of your introduction, you should answer the question, what is the knowledge gap? Here you will highlight areas where too little information is available.
Okay. So introduction is the most important part of that essay. You're introducing your topic to your audience. You're giving them background information. You're also filling in any gaps by making sure that they know the what and why you are talking about it. We will do thesis statement tomorrow. These videos will be on the agenda so that way you can look at them again later if you choose to. Right now, I need everybody to take a look at this, creating a web page. There's a lot of you missing off of here. So you need to put your name, your links, your 2 links, and your 2 titles. If you've gone to WikiLeaks, you need to find a different article. WikiLeaks is not acceptable. So Britannica, Mythopedia, these are places where you can actually get good information. Look at them. You can find others, but it needs to be a resource that actually is looking into myths and legends. Wiki, anybody can go in there and change that information. So, and Slender Man is not a myth or a legend. It's a make-believe character. So no Slender Man. The Russian experiment was a hoax. So change those, please. Find something that is an actual myth or an actual legend in historical sense. And remember, it needs to be attached to a culture. So everybody needs to check your sites and your sources. You also need to take a look at this, which is your writing prompt. This is the ELA create a plan. This is not writing your introduction. This is actually creating a plan. Like I said, you can do an outline, you can do a thinking map of some sort, but on this sheet, I should see a plan. That means little short sentence structures, phrases. What are you going to put into your essay? Create that on this page. Are there questions? You have your prompt up here. Answer the prompt.
Do we do do we do 2 links or just 1?
2 links, 2
All right.
titles.
All
If
right.
you have like Britannica.com, you might have several myths or themes, legends in there. As long as you have 2 articles, 2 separate articles, you will be fine with that link.
All right.
Okay.
For create a plan, so we write on that, on the page of create a plan.
Yes.
Okay.
This is where you're going to do your plan. Remember to change my last name to your first and last name. Okay? And don't worry about the thesis statement. That's going to go at the bottom of your plan, but we'll talk about thesis statements tomorrow. Okay?
Oh, so just doing the introduction as our plan.
No, this is what you're going to put into your introduction. You're planning out your essay. So you'll have information for your introduction, information for your body paragraphs, not your conclusion. And your thesis statement is the last thing. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Google Docs does not give you a lot of leeway with making boxes and text boxes and stuff. If you want to just do an outline, you can do that because this is not an easy platform to manipulate. Any questions at all? Make sure you're researching your myths and legends, because I should see this other form filled completely up. There's lots of blank spaces here. Everybody should be finding their links and their titles. Put it on this chart, please. Does anyone have questions about tonight's assignment? This is due by Wednesday when you get to class. Bryce, I need you to go back and look at your one article. It's a Wikipedia wiki link. That one needs to be changed, please. Wikipedia. Jacob, same thing. I need you guys putting your information on this document. If you already did, then start your plan. Start working on your plan. You got to read the articles though. All right. If you don't have your title and article link on here, those are points away from you on the grade book. So you need to find your articles and put them there. All right. Find your articles and include them on this page. And then start working on your plan. The plan is due by Wednesday. See you later.